What's the worst news you've ever gotten on your birthday? The day I turned 18, my mother told me that I had exactly 1 year to conceive a child, or I would be disowned and replaced by my younger sister. Mom had always been obsessed with legacy and bloodlines. Her own mother had birthed 7 children by age 30, and Mom never forgave herself for only having 2 daughters. She constantly reminded us that we were her greatest failures, not the army of sons she deserved. She'd list all our flaws and say they were because our deceased father had been a poor specimen of manhood, and the only way we'd ever be useful was if we gave her grandchildren for her second chance. She subscribed to every fertility magazine and berated me with statistics about declining egg quality after age 25. I'd always known there was going to be pressure to have children quickly, but I'd never expected that on my 18th birthday she would sit me down with a contract outlining my reproductive obligations. She had calculated my most fertile windows for the next year and expected me to actively try conceiving during each cycle. Mom had even selected potential fathers from families she deemed genetically and financially suitable. The contract specified that failure to become pregnant within the year would result in complete disinheritance, and my younger sister Sally Jane taking my place as primary heir. If you can't fulfill your biological destiny, then Sally Jane will have to carry the burden of continuing our bloodline, she said. I think she would deserve compensation for having to pick up her older sister's slack, don't you? Living under this reproductive countdown felt like carrying a ticking bomb in my chest. Mom set up dates with the guys I was supposed to be seducing. But how do you tell a guy on the first date that you actually need him to knock you up, preferably that month? I lied and told Mom that I slept with them and my fingers were crossed, but obviously my period came and went every month. Mom panicked and scheduled my doctor appointments and insisted on attending every single one to discuss my fertility with medical professionals. She monitored my diet and exercise routine to optimize my reproductive health and banned me from activities she deemed harmful, like riding my bike or using the microwave. The pressure became so suffocating that I developed panic attacks whenever anyone mentioned pregnancy around me. 8 months in, Mom sent me to meet the son of a local oil tycoon, Bentley. To my surprise, Bentley was funny and kind, and not at all like the other guys she'd picked. At the end of the night, he said I seemed haunted, and before I knew it, I was telling him everything about my mother's insane plan, and his eyes nearly fell out of his head and he promised he'd help me. The next day, he texted me to meet him outside my house with whatever belongings I could carry. I got in his car and we drove across 3 states until we got to Bentley's uncle's cabin. You'll be safe here until we think of a better plan, he said. For 2 weeks, I lived with Bentley in that cabin, and for the first time in almost a year, I felt like I could breathe. No fertility tracking, no doctor's appointments, just Bentley's gentle company as he respected my space. I started imagining a future with him and thought I'd finally found a way out. Then one day, I saw a message on his phone and my heart almost stopped. It was from my mom. I opened the message thread and saw they'd been talking back and forth this whole time. Still haven't gotten her to put out yet, but it won't be long, he said to her. She totally trusts me. One baby coming right up. Bentley had been my only hope, and this whole time he was working with my mother to get her exactly what she wanted. When Bentley found me standing there staring catatonic at his phone, he said, "Might as well get this over with then," and started to take off his clothes and try to overpower me. I attacked him with the tea kettle and got away and ran 2 miles to the nearest gas station where I called the police. They helped me file a restraining order against Bentley and my mother, but I had to get a judge to agree that they were a danger to me, and my mother was prepared. She came to court and told the judge that I was mentally unstable and that I needed her guardianship to make sound reproductive decisions. She brought medical records of my panic attacks for evidence of psychological instability and argued that my refusal to procreate when my entire future was on the line proved I was incapable of making rational choices. But everything changed when the judge asked Mom directly what would happen if I never became pregnant. Mom said, "Then she's dead to me, and I'll make sure she understands that dead women can't inherit anything." Mom thought that an old conservative judge would be on her side. What she didn't know was that the judge's own daughter had escaped an abusive marriage 20 years before. He stared down at my mother for a long moment and then turned to me. "I want you to always remember one thing," he said to me. "No one has a right to your body or your future except for you. Case dismissed with prejudice." Mom's lawyer actually gasped. The judge threw out Mom's guardianship petition and granted me a restraining order. Mom lost all parental rights, but I also lost my inheritance. I'm 25 now and completely estranged from my entire family. My sister followed through on Mom's reproductive demands and has 3 children. I don't know if I'll ever have kids, but I know that if I do, it'll be because I want them and not my mother.